Not paying attention to none of them. Oh, no more puffy juice. No more puffy juice.
So you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
No, I don't really rock.
Okay.
I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're going to put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there. You got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? We was fighting.
You just brought a friend to Bora Bora?
Yeah.
And you're just with your friend?
Why are you putting me on the spot like this? Gosh.
I mean, you can say, why can't you say you're dating somebody?
I'm not dating anyone, though.
She's just a friend?
She's just a friend.
Want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died.
She wondered.
He must be the luckiest, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning. How many ways do I have to say it? This is wild. They pay big to do damage and procure victims. They're sex traffickers, and all of these bitches is whores. Sex worker. $250,000 a month to do strange shit at will. You couldn't wait for Cassie to run. You couldn't wait to be in Cassie's shoes. Carisha.
Just when everyone thought the music industry drama couldn't get any deeper, a new case called the Boneshell lawsuit is making waves with shocking claims linking Diddy and Jay's to a mysterious situation involving a young teen, while official details are still locked away. Sources say both stars are working fast to shut it down before the public catches on, but things took another twist when 50 Cent stepped in, hinting at a powerful new documentary. He says will uncover secret footage and hidden connections tied to a rumored Hollywood network that people in the industry have been whispering about for years. In past moments, 50 also dropped bold hints that some young lives may have been damaged in strange ways. Now, whether this project brings truth or sparks more questions, one thing is for sure: everyone is watching closely.
There's footage. I have a tape of the party that Diddy gave after Shine was convicted. He was making people take tequila shots that was laced with certain.
They pay big to do damage and procure victims. They're sex traffickers, and all of these bitches is whores. Sex worker.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
It's a way of passage to certain people in the entertainment business.
With all these people coming out against Diddy, do you think more people are going to come out?
It's a lot of people that, you got to realize is that everybody think, oh, everybody's coming out now. It's a lot of people that wanted to bring stuff out long time ago, but the lawyers wouldn't take it. The lawyers wouldn't deal with it. There's footage. I have a tape of the party that Diddy gave after Shine was convicted.
I think about that really disturbing footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey Songz.
Yes.
And Trey's literally sitting there playing Lookout.
Playing Lookout as Justin Bieber goes down on Odell.
The boy came up with his mouth wet.
Mouth wet?
Yo, dog, you got to realize in that industry, a lot of people stand back and say, well, it happened to me. That's how some of them people pay their dues. And the people who don't go down like that don't be as great as the Ushers, as the Diddys. Cassie opened up a floodgate for lawyers to look at people's cases now and say, yeah, we might can get some money out of that. We might can do that. Yeah, he did abuse you. Nobody really cared at first. But now they see that a lot of this stuff may have some truth to it and the people can be paid for it.
They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. What kind of fucking asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you no more? Because that's what pedophiles do. They get victims, and then once they get to a certain age and they get too old for them to enjoy them, they send them out to go get other young kids. Now, if Usher is a procurer, and if Usher knew what was going to happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak office, he a good guy. Especially considering what happened to him. Especially considering that he sat Howard Stern, and Howard Stern said, would you send your kids to Puffy's Flavor Camp? And his immediate response was, hell no! So it's good enough for everybody else's kids, but it's not good enough for you.
As the buzz keeps building, 50 Cent has now confirmed he's teaming up with Netflix for a major documentary set to release in early 2025. Speaking openly in a recent interview, he shared that the project has been slower than expected because of the nonstop flood of new claims tied to Diddy, making the process feel almost impossible to contain. He described it like chasing an octopus with too many arms, each one leading to something unexpected, and while the deeper they dig, the more twisted it gets. And that's exactly what makes the story so important. With Netflix behind it and 50 fully locked in, the pressure is on and the world is watching closely.
In a strange way, you know?
Robin Big.
Yeah, it's like, exactly.
I'm big in it, Robin.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family. And he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person besides his talent. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin,
you know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're out.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
The Lamborghini for a day or two, and he got access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old. Right. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, the statement is something you can tell it's written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. It says, like, you're going to find out. like how I'll handle this. Like, and that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like the publicist said. Right.
This is on your, this is on, it says, I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because, look, they will fall back. Like the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah. I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of the culture. I'm just telling my opinion.
Right.
Look,
because you're part of the culture.
Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm like I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre.
Right.
As the investigation continues to unfold, more big names are being pulled into the spotlight, including Beyonce's Usher, and even controversial figures like R. Kelly and Danny Masterson. Reports hint that these individuals may be tied in different ways to a much larger web of troubling events. One claim turning heads involves Usher and his early mentorship of Justin Bieber, with sources saying Usher may have been the one to introduce a young Bieber to Diddy during his early fame. What's especially shocking is the report that Diddy was given legal guardianship over 13-year-old Justin for 48 hours, a decision that's now raising serious.
Surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way he would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it. Just that long.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally.
Questions. You're not worried that it comes back your way? Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up?
I don't have that shit in my past.
Everybody got a little bit.
I took a pill. But it was for me to perform that. For her to remember, boy. I didn't fucking give her a drink so she forget what the fuck happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drink. I gave me the drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that. Didn't work. What the fuck? Yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, you said it's the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for people
so
to
for people to feel like you would have something, or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture.
Usher has previously opened up about the intense pressures he faced as a young artist under Diddy's wing, a confession that now feels even more significant. In clip 5, during a raw and reflective moment on the Howard Stern show, Usher talked about living with Diddy as a teen, revealing he was introduced to an adult lifestyle at just 13 years old. He described being brought to exclusive parties and nightclubs, places that clearly weren't meant for someone his age. While he stopped short of going into full detail, the glimpse he gave was powerful enough to reignite concerns about the kind of environment young artists were exposed to. Many were left questioning how this was ever allowed to happen and whether anyone was really looking out for him. Usher's words have added new depth to the growing conversation around mentorship boundaries and the responsibility of adults in the entertainment world.
Shame, living, and all this sort of stuff in my past, and I wasn't able to move on.
Do you think the person that you were then was on a path of self-destruction?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%.
This
yeah.
concern has
it
only
would have been
grown
no
in recent
bueno.
weeks, following
it was
an
bad.
emotional moment
I
from
don't know if I'd
Bieber
be
during a
alive for
recent
sure.
interview. As
it
he
was dark,
reflected on his
but I
journey,
want to definitely
Justin
tell
broke down
my
in
story
tears,
so that
sharing the
if
pain
that
and shame he
resonates to
still
anybody,
carries
that
from his early
they can
experiences in the industry.
hopefully
His raw
learn from it.
honesty has
Well, for
struck a
me,
chord with
you know,
fans
music
and
comes from
industry
somewhere.
watchers alike,
Maybe it comes from
reigniting a
this youthful
broader
naivety and this
conversation about
desire
the
to
darker
escape something.
corners of Hollywood.
And then you get
With
out
more
there in
people
front of the
speaking
world,
out,
and then it comes
questions
from a
around the
place of
treatment of
wanting
young
more of
performers
it.
and the
Yeah.
structures
I
meant
mean,
to
just think
protect
about how
them are
young I
taking center
was and
stage
so
once again.
impressionable. And you have everybody telling me how awesome I am at all times, you know, and like, I just want people to understand like the psychology behind why I potentially could have problems in my life. So yeah, thank you for being here and helping me tell that story. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted, encounters and, I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Do you realize how important your story is? Every time I have a conversation with someone who's been through this unique type of experience, I'm searching for some kind of truth that can help.
I commend you for going there and asking the tough questions and the things that people don't want to talk about and they don't want to go there because it's revealing and I want people to take a look at my story and hopefully.
I don't want to talk about what they confided in me, but it's a lot of stuff that has been going on, and like there's tapes that are running around with women. There's tape that is running around with women, and they want to get a hold of those tapes so they could bring them, you know, to the lawyers. And those tapes do exist, but it's going to be hard for them to get because a lot of people don't want them to know that they was in those tapes and they was a part of it.
That is over the edge. Like you can't complain about this sitting here playing in your face when all you gotta do is tell the truth. Shut that whole shit down.
Former bodyguard Gene Deal has come forward with serious claims that have shaken the entertainment world. Even further speaking out recently, Deal alleged that many insiders were well aware of what he called a troubling dynamic between Diddy and Usher during their early years. He recounted an incident where Usher reportedly needed medical attention after what he described as disturbing behavior from Diddy and hinted that there may be documentation to back it up. While nothing has been confirmed, his statement has added fuel to the already growing concerns about exploitation and lack of protection in the music industry. Deal also claimed that following the incident, certain celebrities quietly began to distance themselves from Usher, a shift that's now raising even more questions like why so many stayed silent and how many other untold stories might still be buried as the spotlight intensifies. The industry's culture of silence is once again being pushed to the forefront.
To New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In
to
the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige, they ain't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Uh-huh.
I had like,
What
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
What happened to Usher? I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing something. They may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
Where did you hear it?
Bro, you know how people be talking, and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, "Yo, I don't f with that dude." And at the time, I didn't know who the f Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when probably say, "Yo, man, I don't f with them niggas. I'm getting out that industry and everything like that." You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, Nick was bleeding from the butt, and that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room, had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up with somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
And what you mean by Diddy count?
Remember? He was on one of the talk shows. The white guy with the curly hair. What's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, "Yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp?" And Usher said, "No. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp." But yet and still you praise him.
Yeah, man. And you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York. People. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop it. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive. Didn't have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now. Change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of allegations.
Same way they made allegations about Usher. When Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? Why? There's reason behind all this. So where there's smoke, there's fire, Ken. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, Justin, he's been real quiet about this. I mean, I think like a lot of the other celebrities.
I was reading some, Cam, and the kids say after he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day. What would cause a kid who wanted to be an artist in the music business all of a sudden to start getting high and drinking and drugging, popping pills and smoking? What would cause a kid to do that?
I mean, usually trauma.
Diddy, along with a growing list of alleged associates across civil and criminal courts, is now at the center of what could become a historic reckoning. The wave of lawsuits building around him isn't just about one person, it's threatening to crack open decades of hidden truths buried deep within the music industry. If even part of what's being claimed turns out to be real, this moment could mark the collapse of one of the most powerful and protected empires in modern entertainment.